Welcome to Murder with the Misses. I'm Amy.
And I'm Haley.
And today we're going to tell you about Matthew Restelli.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Check out the description for the links of all of our podcast platforms, Cash App, and Buy Me a Coffee. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends.
That went right to the end of the music.
Do you like how I went, and Haley?
Oh, I like that. Haley's in the house. Literally, just in the house. Mom jokes. Sorry. Okay, so we did the Donna Adelson case so that we could do this case. Because this one came up when I was looking at the other one. This is loosely, and I mean loosely, tied to the Adelson case that we covered last time. This is a case out of Utah. Now, if you remember, the Adelson case was out of Florida. So trust me, these are two different cases. They just have a lot of similarities. You'll see. This one is about Matthew. Now, Matthew was born in 1982 in Houston, Texas. He was an outdoorsman, so he liked fishing, mountain biking, walking trails, all things that I'm uninterested in. Just kidding, I like fishing. He had a son from his previous relationship when he met and married Catherine, or Katie for short, that's how we refer to her, in 2017. Now, Katie was from a big family. Her mom had 7 kids. By 2024, Matt and Katie had been married for 7 years, and they had added 2 more kids to the family. These two were 3 and 5 at the time of the incident that we're going to talk about today. On July 20th of 2024, Katie packed her and the 2 younger kids up and drove from her home in Temecula, California, to her mom, Tracy's house in American Fork, Utah. She didn't tell Matthew that she was leaving, and so he just came home to find everybody was gone. Tracy lived in a duplex in a gated community. Her son, Kevin, lived with her along with a couple of other kids of hers. They referred to all the other people in these documents because this hasn't gone to trial yet. So they refer to everybody by their initials. So you're going to hear a lot of initials throughout this one. Like RF. You're going to hear a lot about RF. I don't know what that person's name is. I'm not going to look into it because it'll come out in court if it's going to come out. And if it ends up they have nothing to do with it, we're not going to know it. So I'm not just going to blast it on the internet. Okay. Based on text messages and communications, police say that Matt was confused, to say the least, as to why she left. But she reassured him that she just needed a breather for a week or 2 and that she would be back. They appeared to have regular and civil communication while she was gone.
Some people just need a break.
She just needed a break. That's what she was telling him. All seems right? So a few weeks later, Katie decides she's ready to come home. Matt tries to make arrangements for her to rent a car because she had rented a car to get down there, I'm gathering. But she tells him that the rental place won't let her because she only has a debit card and an out-of-state driver's license.
I have rented plenty of cars with an out-of-state driver's license.
You can do it.
This line was written for my father.
Right.
I just became rental age.
Right. I thought that your dad was putting in a place where he could say, because he's traveled a lot for work over his life. And we've always had residency in Oklahoma. So every other state he's rented a car in, he's presenting his Oklahoma driver's license. And it's never been a problem. Whatever. That's why you need to rent a car sometimes. It's because you're on vacation or you're out for business or you're just visiting. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's not a big deal. So this didn't make any sense. But I guess Matt didn't know that. Katie said that he needed to drive his truck to Utah to pick them up and their stuff because she had packed a bunch of stuff. So he made the over 9-hour drive to do just that. But something happened when he got there. Kevin, her brother, Katie's brother, would end up shooting and killing Matt while inside Tracy's house. Now, Kevin was arrested on the scene, but he told the police that it was self-defense, that Matt came in with a knife and Kevin was afraid for his life, saying that Matt had backed him up to a wall, forcing Kevin to shoot him at close range. And Kevin, he had a gun holster on him. The gun was there. You've got Matt's body laying on the floor with a knife in his right hand. Like, it seems to be adding up, right? Until you look at the scene. And the cops were like, nothing around you makes sense, though. So, that's why we're talking about it. The neighbor's security system showed Matt's truck pull up at Tracy's house at 10:06 p.m. At 10:07, so just 1 minute later, the person living on the other half of that duplex, that's KL, as they're referred to, heard 6 to 8 gunshots coming from Tracy's side. So 1 minute. That neighbor ended up calling 911 at 10:09. Tracy also called 911, but it was at 10:15. So several minutes later. Police actually arrived 2 minutes after Tracy made that call because she didn't know that the neighbor had already called. So they had a head start on her. When they got there, Kevin answered the door, and the cops said that all of the interior lights were off in the house, except for a cabinet light in the kitchen.
Nobody turned a light on that whole time.
Not the whole time. Why are you walking around in the dark? You're just sitting in the dark? Anyways, it says that the front door to the house goes into a small entry. Immediately to the left of that hallway, which is where Matt's body was found, is a hallway that leads to the kitchen. Immediately right in that little entryway is the living room, which is where Kevin was. Now, the 8 shell casings that they found on the scene were all in the living room. Across the way. Now, remember, he shot him at close range because he had him backed up against a wall. So why is his body over here and all your bullets are over here? Tell me why. So immediately the cops are like, hold up. That doesn't make sense. They also see that there were 3 bullet holes in the doors or walls close to the front door. So the police believed, based on how everything is laid out here, that Kevin was in the living room. Matt came through the front door, headed towards that hallway. And as he was walking towards that hallway, Kevin was shooting at him from the living room. So completely different version than what Kevin is telling them. So see what I mean? Things are not adding up. Another problem they saw is that Matt was barefoot and his sandals were neatly placed just inside the entrance of the residence right before the carpet started. So according to the people in the house, he had come in agitated and wielding a knife, and he was also unexpected because Kevin and Tracy told the cops, first off, they didn't even know he was coming. So he's just apparently busting in this house, mad, knife, rawr, but he stops to neatly take his shoes off and then walk towards the hall. Like, it's just not working for them. Tracy told police that she had been sitting at the counter in the kitchen when suddenly Matt was in the kitchen and just said, hi. She said that he seemed agitated and that he walked away while asking if Catherine was upstairs. She said yes, but Katie would come down to talk to him. Then she heard gunshots. So she ran out of the kitchen, saw Matt on the floor, and then ran upstairs to where Katie and the kids were and told Katie, don't come downstairs. I'm going to call 911. The kids slept through all of this. After she was Mirandized, though, Tracy did admit that she knew Matt was coming and she knew what time he was going to be there. Because she was like, I knew he was going to be there a little after 10.
Oh, okay. So they did know when exactly he was going to, well, not exactly, but when he was going to get there.
A little after 10 is pretty close.
That's pretty close.
It's pretty, I mean, it's not like a repairman like in the Adelson case between 8 and noon. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can be prepared enough. That's all I'm saying. And we're just scratching the surface. It also didn't help that as they were taking Kevin out of the house, Tracy yelled at him, don't say anything.
Tracy, my head hurts.
Yes. Now, before I get too far, another issue that police immediately put a red flag on was the knife. It was in Matt's right hand. His thumb wrapped around the knife and was in line with his other 4 finger knuckles. His index, middle, ring, and pinky fingers were gripped around the handle of the knife with the pads of his finger touching the palm of his hand. So he's got a grip, right? Like if your fingertips are touching the palm of your hand, that's a grip. The blade, though, was facing inward toward Matt instead of pointing outwards towards a threat or somebody you're trying to hurt. So the knife is backwards. And I'm just going to give you a little test here. What do you think I'm going to say next? What would be another big red flag about how he's holding this knife in his right hand?
I bet you he was left-handed.
Because he was left-handed. It's a classic. Am I right? We hear this so much. Yeah, get the stick. This is stick worthy.
I'm going to keep getting it out. Callbacks.
Now, all of this screams to police that this knife was a plant. That somebody put that knife in his hand after he was already shot. Katie was telling police that her and Matt had been having financial issues and he had been verbally abusive. She told them about him wanting her to come home. She told them about the rental car issue and that he was coming that night to pick her and the kids up and take them back to California. But she was undecided as to whether she would go back with him or stay separated from him and in Utah with her family. Even though it sounds like he didn't even know that they were separated. Remember, she needs a breather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they go on with the investigation. The medical exam shows that Matt had been shot once directly in the chest, once in the side of his right upper torso, 3 times in the back, once in the back of the hip, and once in the right wrist. The exit wound on the wrist had tissue and bone forcing out of it. So how was he gripping the knife? That was a dramatic pause. He was wearing a long sleeve shirt that covered that bullet wound. So literally no one at the scene saw it. Not the cops, not the people there in the house. Nobody saw that wound. And so belief is whoever planted that knife on him didn't know that he wouldn't have been able to grip a knife backwards in his offhand. So problem, another red flag. Now let's talk about what they found on the cell phones. My favorite thing, digital evidence, and Katie's iPad. We'll start with the knife though. I know that sounds weird. Stick with me. This was a tactical folding pocket knife made by Evatac. Yeah. It had a 4-inch blade with a 5-inch long handle. The blade was single-edged. Now, while looking through Tracy's emails, they saw an email that she sent on April 10th to support@mytacticalpromos.com, asking them to stop a subscription for a tactical box mystery gift. So it's a subscription box for tactical gear. At this time, she was in California helping a friend move into an assisted living facility. The delivery address for these mystery tactical boxes was that friend's house. Detectives took to the internet, right? And they found an unboxing video of one of these tacticalpromo.com mystery boxes. And lo and behold, there was the knife on their screen. The exact model and color of the knife that was found in Matt's hand.
This is so great. Even unboxing videos are helping solve crimes.
Right.
That's how you know they're good.
Like, I don't know. They just like, oh, here's an unboxing video, and they watch it and they're like, hold on.
Pause. What was that?
I thought Matt brought that knife with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm seeing a link to Tracy.
After he carefully put his sandals in place.
Right. He was just so, I don't know. I'm telling you. If people would just stop criming, it would be great because you can't get away with shit these days. Even unboxing videos are going to get you. Now, at the beginning of June, Tracy texted her daughter, RJ, saying that Matt lied to her. He was telling tales out of school, and she ended that rant with, quote, "I'm going to kill him," end quote. So that's not looking good. This is why I don't like when people say things, because if it happens, you look real suspicious. So don't just say things in the heat of the moment. It's going to come back at you. But everyone knows that Tracy and Matt didn't get along. It was not a surprise. It was not a secret. They hated each other. That alone is not incriminating, right? It's just her ranting. No big deal. But a little over a week later, they found out that she had deleted some web searches where she had looked up things like Utah gun law registration, Utah Shoit break-in, because she spelled it Shoit, and how does private sales of firearms work in Utah? So she deleted all those. A few hours later, she did not delete where she searched to file for divorce if wife is a Utah resident and husband is a California resident.
Oh my gosh.
How to establish Utah residency. And later that night, she searched renew my passport by mail, apply for a child U.S. passport, and how do I get my U.S. passport fast? Well, you should have talked to Daisy. That's what Donna Adelson did.
Yeah, you should have talked to Daisy.
Should have called Daisy. She got that squared away for Donna. And those were done a few days before Katie had left California and left Matt and came to Utah to stay with her. So they found no evidence that she had told Matt that she was considering divorce or even separation, even knowing that he knew they were separated at the time. Like, he was completely confused. But it looks like Katie had talked to her mom about it. They had already talked a lot about it before she even left. Another thing they found out was that before she left California, Katie put an Apple AirTag in Matt's truck that he didn't know about. Katie, Tracy, Kevin, TF, and then the other sister, RJ, all had access to view and track that AirTag. Why do so many of your brothers and sisters have it? Your mom. I mean, you, okay, I can understand if you're that kind of person that you need to track your spouse closely. But why all your family?
Yeah, and he didn't know about it?
He had no clue. It was literally inside of like the way they described it is like, you know how you have like an entertainment center or something that's got like 6 boxes and you can buy those little fabric drawers?
Mm-hmm.
So it was in something like that had a bunch of other stuff on top of it, and it was stuffed in like the floorboard of his truck.
Oh my gosh.
So he didn't know it was there. Another thing that they found out was that before she left California, I already said that. Mm-hmm. Either way, less than a week after she left California, Kevin texted Katie, quote, "The tag is still active," end quote, along with a screenshot of its location, so the map. He also said, quote, "If I have to rush back, I can make that happen," end quote. What are you talking about? Why would you have to rush back? What the problem is?
Oh, Kev.
Kevin. On July 7th, Tracy deleted her chat history with Kevin. This is her son. Why would you feel the need to delete your chat history with your son and nobody else? Just Kevin. And we know at this time that Katie was going on dates with other men when she was in Utah. So she was down there living the best life.
Hussy.
So I think on that note, I think we'll take a break and hear from today's sponsor. Hang on, I'm going to make this. It's going to be great.
Is your washer and dryer pushing your buttons instead of the other way around? Make a clean getaway before you spin out of control.
For sheets and giggles, go ahead and call My Laundry Solutions today at 800-535-4411 if you live in an apartment. We know you're pressed for time, so you can also tumble on over to MyLaundrySolutions.com, which is available 24/7. They are a wonderful company to do business with.
No credit check, free installations, all for about $1 a day.
That's sensational.
Give them a call. You won't be disappointed.
You won't be disappointed. I love you guys for sticking with me while I try to figure out these electronics.
Sheets and giggles. Sensational.
What? They're great, right?
I'm going to pull my hair out. It's
You
pretty good.
You don't appreciate my punniness? You're welcome.
Anyways.
That was a bonus.
Basically, she was trying to be single.
Yes, and fast. Because divorce, not fast. Divorce is slow. And so she's like, well, let me just get out here and see what's happening in Utah. See what I don't want to say it. I can't say slang terms. Haley gets embarrassed. She spoke with a divorce lawyer out there too, who said that she needed to file for divorce in California. Like, that's where you're from. That's where your residency is. That's where you got married. Take your butt to California and file for divorce. So later, she was texting with friends who were asking her, how did it go with the lawyer? And she's telling them things like that she was fucked. Like, her words, not mine, but still my words. The same day, Katie and Tracy were texting back and forth. Katie said that Matt didn't want to drive out. Like, he didn't want to drive and pick her up in Utah. He's like, I didn't take you down there. You took yourself. Bring yourself back. I'm not coming down there. I don't know if he actually said that, but that's what I would have said. You got down there, didn't you? Well, you can get back. But anyways, so he's like, okay, I'm not going to come get you, but I'll get you a rental car, right? So he's going to make arrangements for her. But she tells Tracy, if he deposits money, I'm going to use it to get a lawyer. So she had no plans on coming back. Tracy tells her to stay with the story that Katie had sprained her ankle, right? So they're telling Matt, I can't drive because I have a sprained ankle. So I can't get a rental car. I can't get a rental car because they won't take my debit card and my out-of-state driver's license. And even if I could, even if you could get it and I could just drive, I can't drive it because I have a sprained ankle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they have a backup for their backups. And then Tracy tells her that they can wrap it to make it look swollen under the wrap. Okay, lady. After that exchange with Matt and Katie, and then Katie and Tracy meets up with Kevin, the brother, for sushi. And then she started doing Google searches for "it's happening" memes. This is not a meme-worthy event.
Tracy, read the room. Oh, God.
Yes. And her web searches are actually one of the main reasons I say this is loosely tied to the Adelson case. Because besides obvious killing of a son-in-law and trying to get your passport fast, things like that, which are obviously tied. She's actually, the day before the shooting, Tracy is searching things about the Donna Adelson case and Katie McBanawa. So things like, when was Donna Adelson arrested? And things like that. So she's involved. Yes. I don't know if she's trying to figure out how to get away with it, or she should have been doing, how do I not get caught like Donna?
Yeah, like, literally. Oh my gosh.
She should have been Googling. So that's how I say it's loosely tied. Now, the day of the shooting, Katie messaged her Discord friends saying, quote, I have to do big girl things today. Wish me luck, end quote. She recorded several phone calls that she had with Matt while he was on that 9-hour drive from California to Utah. I don't know why. She was insistent that he come into the house to help her load up her stuff. Asking him several times, but you're coming in the house, right? But I need you to come in the house. You're going to come in, right? Because he's like, I'm just going to leave the truck running. I'm just going to, I don't want to get out. And she's like, but you have to help me. And he's like, okay, fine, but whatever. I'm in and out. This is not going to take long. Because he doesn't get along with Tracy. He doesn't want to be in her house. And so he's trying to be like, fine, but it's going to be fast. So have your shit ready.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yes. He even asked her to lay down cardboard outside of the house so that his truck wouldn't leak oil in the street. So he's trying to be considerate. That pissed me off. He gave her his ETA, of course, because he's, using his GPS. So he's like, it says I'm going to be there just after 10. That's how they know he was going to be there just after 10, like Tracy said. But he didn't know that he didn't need to because they're following him on the AirTag anyways. At one point, she texted him that Tracy said that if he was too tired, he could just sleep there and Tracy would keep her distance. She would actually be asleep when he got there. So he wasn't down for that, though. He was like, I don't think so. No, we're not staying. I'm picking you up. We're going home. He wanted to get his wife, get his kids, and get back to California. She texted him the gate code to get into the neighborhood and then a picture of her mom's duplex so he knew which one to go to. So all these leading up to right before he gets there. These are all like 8, 9 o'clock right before he gets there. She reassures him that it won't take long for them to load things up and they actually exchanged I love yous the last time they talked on the phone. Now, while talking with Matt, I know, make that face, is worthy of it. Yes. Now, while talking with Matt, she's actually also texting her mom at the same time, telling her mom what she's telling Matt and what Matt is saying back. And then Tracy would respond things like, very good. Ooh, it's just slimy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, police found nothing packed when they got to Tracy's house, when they got the call about the shooting. There was nothing packed. There was no indication that Katie was actually planning on going with Matt that night. Not a single one.
No, they were planning an ambush is what it was.
They were 100% planning an ambush. Yes. There were even texts from that day between the other siblings, the brothers and sisters. RJ texted TF at 12:49 p.m. that afternoon saying Katie talked him into coming out. RJ later texted Tracy at 8:11 p.m. that RF, that was one of the other siblings that also lived with Tracy, had got to their house safe and sound. So they had sent this other family member that was living there out to a family member's house so that they wouldn't be on the scene when this all went down. So they're clearing the house out for unnecessities. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be here. Plausible deniability.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your sister's house. But this just goes to show how many of these family members could have actually been involved in what was going on. At 9:32 p.m., RF texted her brother TE, Matt should be at mom's in like 30. I have RF here. I think she's got Kevin, Kate, and JT there. Now, JT also lived with Tracy, but JT was not there when the cops got there. So I don't know if JT was there when the shooting happened, but they were not there when the cops got there. At 10 p.m., so right before Matt got there, RJ texted Tracy, Orem, so O-R-E-M. And I had to look that up because I'm like, what does that even mean? Orem is, wait, hang on. So she texted Orem, and then she texted 1 minute later, Kevin, Orem, keep an eye out on Find My, which is how you track an Apple AirTag. I looked it up, and Orem is actually a town in Utah that's about 12 minutes away from American Fork, where they were. So they were literally tracking his location by the second, and they knew exactly how close he was getting.
Most of this family is like definitely involved. Almost, oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes. Because why else would they be doing all that?
That's
Well,
a lot.
Here's the thing though. She did say he was verbally abusive. So the only other thing I could think of was if they thought that he was coming and Katie was going to tell him, I want a divorce and I no longer want to be with you, which would be shitty to make him drive 9 hours to do that. But if that's what they thought was going to happen and they thought maybe there was a chance he could get physical, I could understand them being like on alert.
No, 100%. For me, it's like more people there, the better in that kind of situation.
100%.
Just say.
That was the only other scenario I could think of. And then I'm like, why would you send people away unless they were young? You would want the young ones out, but you would want the older ones there. You would want people who could protect. People are less likely to inflict violence if there's a multitude of people around that are focused on them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if you're expecting someone to come in swinging, you're going to be on high alert that that person might come in swinging. So you're less likely to have a violent outrage. And if you do, you have more people there who can control the situation.
Yeah.
But all these texts, she talked him into coming. They knew he wasn't coming there of his own volition. It doesn't add up to me.
No.
It doesn't add up. It looks exactly like an ambush, like you said, 100%. And how deep does it go? After the shooting, so now we know what happened up to the shooting. We know what happened at the shooting, kind of. And we know what it looks like anyway. So after the shooting, Katie FaceTimed one of those Discord friends that she talks to, showing her a picture of the blood-stained carpet. Okay. The friend heard Tracy in the background say, well, if I knew that you like death, I would have taken a picture of the actual body. Tracy,
it's a migraine now.
You need to sit down, Tracy.
What are you doing?
Too much. She's doing too much. The Discord friend says that they did tell Katie that she was sorry. I'm sorry about Matt's death. And Katie said, it's okay. I'm happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate them all.
Yeah. They sound like great people.
Yeah.
Tracy and Katie also had a phone call with Matt's mom on the 14th. So this is 2 days after his death. Before the call, Tracy texted Katie telling her not to tell the mom anything that happened, to just say that it was all a blur. On the call that they recorded, because they like to record phone calls, Katie says that Matt came to Utah to have a conversation because it had to be face-to-face, that Matt was upset about coming out, and that she said she didn't know where the knife was on Matt. She didn't see it, and it was very traumatic for her to have to walk past his body. Was it? Was it? Tracy told her that she had bought the gun, right? Because everybody's like, where'd the gun even come from? So Tracy said that she had bought it during COVID, but she kept it in the garage, locked in a safe, high up. Another thing that didn't add up, because he was shot 1 minute after his truck pulled up outside. So that's time to get out of the truck, walk to the door, knock on the door, get let into the door. But she told him, my mom's house is always unlocked, so the door's not locked. Just come on in. So he probably just walked right in. Okay. Because he was told to.
Yeah.
And then he's shot. For Kevin's story to make sense, where there was a scuffle where he had come in and he was forced to shoot him at close range right next to him because he was pinned up against the wall. When in that 1 minute time, which is now at more like a 30 to 40 second time frame, did you have enough time in that 30 to 40 seconds to go to the garage, get up high, enter the safe code or whatever you're doing, get the gun out, make sure it's loaded, come back in and shoot him? Even if the garage was like literally right there, which it wasn't, it was not, remember? You got living room on that side. You got hallway to the kitchen on the other side. You'd have to go through parts of the house. So that even adds to your time. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Not enough time. Anyways, I'll get off my high horse. That Discord friend also told police that Katie always talked about how much she hated Matt before the shooting. Like when they would be on their little Discord doing whatever they did, she was always talking shit about how much she hated him. But she also said that he wasn't abusive. She just hated him. But then she went around telling everybody afterwards that he was verbally abusive. Not physically, verbally. Okay. Make up your mind. Tell me the truth. If you can't keep it straight, it's not the truth. Come on. She also told that friend that she cheated on him all the time, online and in real life, which we knew that because she's going on dates while she's taking a breather.
Oh my God.
Hell, a few days after the shooting, she did searches on her iPad for how soon is too soon to tell somebody you love them, and 5 ways to get rid of hickeys. 2 days after his death? 3 days after, however long? Couple days? You're gross. You're gross. You're gross. 4 days after the shooting, she was talking to a friend while she was getting ready for a date. Time doesn't stop. And saying that she never had any intention of going back to California or getting back together with Matt. So she admitted it. She's like, I wasn't going.
It was never going to happen.
It was never going to happen. So why are you telling him? Anyways. Now we know that Kevin was arrested the night of the shooting, right? Tracy and Katie would be arrested October 29th of 2024 because they actually did an investigation and pulled up all this evidence. All 3 were charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, obstruction of justice, and 2 counts of domestic violence in the presence of a child. Kevin was also charged with possession of a firearm by a restricted person and drug possession, since they found a rolled up $1 bill on his nightstand that field tested positive for cocaine. Now, Catherine, Miss Katie, she took a plea deal.
Oh, yeah, of course she did.
What'd you say in the last one? First to talk, first to walk?
Mm-hmm.
She's at the center of this whole thing, and she's the one who started singing like a canary. Bro, just throwing your family under the bus, talking them into this, going along with it, and then being like, okay, they totally did it. It's like, lady. On July 16th of 2025, she pled guilty to the murder, conspiracy, and felony discharge of a firearm charges. She admitted that her, Tracy, and Kevin conspired to lure Matt to Utah to kill him. On September 9th, she was sentenced to 2 1 to 15-year sentences for the murder and conspiracy, which will run concurrently. Dumb. Plus an additional 5 to life for the felony discharge that will run consecutive. So that puts her at a minimum of 6 years in custody, because that's what that adds up to.
Mm-hmm.
The judge ordered a no contact between her and her kids, saying, quote, "Your children are victims of your actions. They will be lifetime victims of your actions, and they deserve to grow up without you in their lives." End quote. Nailed it, right?
I like them.
Nailed it.
Okay.
He said a lot more too, but that was the one I was like, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. The kids are being raised by Matt's brother. As far as Tracy and Kevin, they are going to trial. They're going to fight it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Even though Katie's already like, yeah, they totally did it. They're like, no, we didn't. So I believe Tracy's is scheduled for January 12th and Kevin's is January 20th of 2026. We all know that dates can change, but I imagine they're going to stay pretty close together like that so that she can be brought in from prison to testify against both of them, because I imagine that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to have their trials pretty close together so that they don't have to house her. They can just ship her butt back to prison. So we'll just have to see how well that goes for them, because they've got, the main person already pointing fingers. And like I said, I'm sure she's going to testify against them. So good luck to you guys, because it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
P.S. You're all dumb.
Because you're all dumb. That's why it doesn't look good, because you're dumb.
I made more faces during this than any of the other videos ever.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They are... Ugh.
Like I've said before, if you take one of these things, it's like, wow, that could go either way. But when you start putting a timeline together like these cops have to do, and you start reading down what they were doing, it's like...
Looks bad. Looks bad, Tracy.
I'm glad these criminals are dumb.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it makes it easier. All right. So that's all we have on this one. I guess if they do go to trial, we'll see what happens. But let us know what you think about this case. Get in them comments. What? Get in them comments.
Get in them comments.
She snickered. All right. If you like our content, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
And don't forget to tell your friends as always.
As always. That's how your dad says it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye.
Bye.